Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, former President Donald Trump's conversation with Elon Musk. The former president and billionaire one-on-one on Musk's X platform. Trump bringing up false claims and controversial statements, laying out what he would do if reelected, including shutting down the Department of Education and ignoring concerns about the impact of climate change. Trump also attacking Vice President Harris and President Biden. How the Harris campaign is responding this morning.
New overnight, an amendment that would create a right to an abortion in Arizona's constitution will be on the state's ballot this election. Voters in the swing state to vote on the issue this November.
On the move, Tropical Storm Ernesto taking aim at Puerto Rico and other Caribbean islands. Ginger has the track and timing.
High alert. Israel bracing for a significant attack by Iran and its proxies, while the White House tries to prevent escalation as it sends a second aircraft carrier group to the Middle East.
This morning, millions on alert after a 4.4 magnitude earthquake rattles Southern California. ESPN studios shaking while on air.
We have a bit of an earthquake here in Los Angeles.
Now the warnings about potential aftershocks.
A new era. Details on how authorities plan to keep fans safe at Taylor Swift's London concerts after the foiled alleged terror plot canceled her shows in Austria.
Tablets and tantrums, what a new study finds about the link between screen time and anger and frustration in children.
Have they stopped believing? Two members of the classic rock band Journey locked in a legal dispute.
And say hi, hi, hi to NSYNC. The band's 2000 hit, Bye, 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 is back in the top 10. What's driving the song to the top of the charts?
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
This is indeed Good Morning America. Good morning to you. Great to have you with us. And boy, do we have a lot of news to get to.
We sure do. President Biden's mission to reduce the cancer death rate. We have details on the new initiative this morning.
First, the race for the White House. As he struggles to counter the rise of Kamala Harris, Donald Trump returned to Twitter last night. It's now called X, for a long conversation with Elon Musk that was hampered by technical issues. Rachel Scott is tracking the race. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, George, good morning to you. This all got off to a very rocky start. That conversation was delayed by more than 40 minutes because of those tech issues. Elon Musk said he wanted to have this conversation so that the former president could appeal to independent voters, but Trump fell into a very familiar pattern of controversial statements, insults, and attacks.
Overnight, Donald Trump's botch returned to the platform that once banished him for posting false claims about the election. The company saying at the time the account was permanently suspended due to the risk of further incitement of violence. It was reinstated by Elon Musk in November of 2022 when Musk bought the company. Trump returning to the conversation Monday for a conversation with Musk. Technical issues delaying it from the start for more than 40 minutes. Musk blaming a so-called denial of service attack, a kind of cyber attack that floods a server with traffic to force it offline, saying the massive attack illustrates there's a lot of opposition to people just hearing what President Trump has to say, though he provided no evidence of such a cyber attack.
All right, hello everyone. My apologies for the late start.
Users getting messages like this saying details not available. Those who were able to get into the live stream welcomed by hold music, then silence. X saying more than 1 million people eventually signed on.
I'm looking at the numbers. You got a lot of people listening.
Musk said he wanted Trump to reach open-minded independent voters, kicking off the conversation by asking Trump about the attempt on his life.
What was it like for you?
Not pleasant. I have to be honest. I said there was blood. I had more blood. I didn't know I had that much blood.
Over 2 hours, the former president drifted into bringing up false claims, insults, and controversial statements. Trump praising his relationships with authoritarian leaders, saying he got along well with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and Russian President Vladimir Putin.
And I got along with Kim Jong-un. We had dinner. We had everything. And he really liked me, and I got along with him.
Trump also describing a conversation he had with Putin about invading Ukraine, claiming he told him not to invade. The former president laying out what he would do if reelected, insisting one of his first acts would be shutting down the Department of Education.
This is where I need an Elon Musk. I need somebody that has a lot of strength and courage and smarts. I want to close up Department of Education, move education back to the states, where states like Iowa, with states like Idaho. You know, not every state will do great.
The Harris campaign highlighting that clip on social media and responding to the interview saying Trump's entire campaign is in service of people like Elon Musk and himself, self-obsessed rich guys who will sell out the middle class and who cannot run a live stream in the year of 2024. The Harris campaign also accusing Trump of slurring his words. The former president brushing off dire warnings about the impact of climate change, saying rising sea levels will lead to, quote, more oceanfront property. And he promised the largest deportation in history, attacking Vice President Kamala Harris on the administration's handling of the border, calling migrants non-productive people. Trump casting Harris as liberal and attacking Jewish people who support her, repeating claims that have been widely called anti-Semitic.
And I say, if you're a Jewish person or if you believe in Israel, if you're a person that, you know, is a very pro-Israel, if you vote for her, it's worse than Biden. And Biden was bad. But if you vote for her, you ought to have your head examined.
Also at one point saying the new Time magazine cover of Harris looks like his wife.
I saw a picture of her on Time magazine today. She looks like the most beautiful actress ever to live. It was a drawing. And actually, she looked very much like our great first lady, Melania. She didn't look like Camilla. That's right. But of course, she's a beautiful woman. So we'll leave it at that, right?
And in a sign of just how much the former president has struggled to pivot to a new rival, Trump also spent time attacking President Biden, even though he's no longer in the race.
Don't forget, I beat Biden. He failed in the debate miserably.
The Democratic National Convention is now less than a week away. The White House says that President Biden will address the convention on Monday and lay out the stakes of this election. We are also told that former Presidents Bill Clinton and Barack Obama will be speaking at the convention as well, George.
And Rachel, we also heard from the FBI yesterday. They're now investigating foreign interference in both campaigns.
Exactly, George. We know that the FBI has already been looking into these claims by the Trump campaign that it was hacked by Iran. And now sources tell ABC News that the FBI is also looking into attempts by Iran to target the Biden-Harris campaign. The alleged spear phishing email was sent before President Biden dropped out of the race. A Biden campaign official tells ABC News they are not aware of any security breaches, George.
Rachel Scott, thanks, Michael.
All right, George, thank you. New this morning, voters in Arizona will decide on reproductive rights measure in a November election. Elizabeth Schulze joins us now with the details. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Hey, good morning, Michael. Abortion rights will now officially be on the ballot in battleground Arizona in November. Arizona's Secretary of State tells ABC News that it has enough signatures for a ballot initiative that will ask voters to establish the constitutional right to an abortion up to around 24 weeks of pregnancy. Right now, Arizona law bans abortions after 15 weeks, except for in medical emergencies. And in May, state lawmakers there narrowly repealed a near total ban dating back to the Civil War. Arizona, now one of 6 states with a confirmed ballot measure asking voters to protect or expand abortion rights. 4 other states are still considering adding similar measures, and Democrats are hopeful that this will be a galvanizing issue. In every state where abortion has been on the ballot since the end of Roe v. Wade, the abortion rights position has won. Robin?
All right, Elizabeth, our thanks to you. Now, the tropical threat on the move this morning, Ernesto hitting the Caribbean, including Puerto Rico. Ginger is here now tracking. Got the timing and the track for us?
Yes, I've got all of it. So right now it is about more than 300 miles east-southeast of San Juan. So it's got some time, but it is still moving west at 20 miles per hour. So it's crushing in, and you're starting to see some of the cloud cover. This is Fajardo on the east side of Puerto Rico, and that's who would have the most rain from this because that's where the center will go. You'll see it. It's already made it into the northern Leeward Islands. It's going to pass on through the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, and then on the east side of Puerto Rico is where the center track has it through tomorrow. So we'll be watching it tomorrow morning as we come on the air here. Then it will go back to the north and it'll start to track toward Bermuda. That's when it intensifies to hurricane strength. Could be at least a Cat 2 as it passes close to Bermuda. This weekend for us, it's mostly looking like a high surf and rip current risk. So that's good news because this thing keeps on going and if anything makes its way up kind of Nova Scotia east.
We'll keep that in mind. All right, Ginger. To the Middle East now, with the White House warning that Iran or its proxies could attack Israel any day now. More U.S. warships are on the way to the region, and Israeli forces are on high alert. Foreign correspondent Tom Sufi-Burridge is in Tel Aviv for us this morning. Good morning to you, Tom.
Good morning, Robin. Yeah, U.S. officials saying it appears increasingly likely an attack by Iran or its proxies on Israel could come before Thursday, with the White House warning that any Iranian military action could significantly harm negotiations for a ceasefire in Gaza. This morning, the White House saying an attack by Iran and its proxies on Israel could come this week.
We have to be prepared for what could be a significant set of attacks.
That assessment amid a flurry of US diplomacy, with the US sending back-channel messages to Iran, according to one official, with other US officials, quote, cautiously optimistic Iran will limit the scope of an attack. President Biden on the phone with European leaders Monday, and Secretary Blinken calling his Turkish counterpart and Iraq's Prime Minister. There's a vast array of impressive American military assets, including aircraft carriers and a submarine, move into position in the Middle East. The US signalling deterrence.
And we obviously don't want to see any kind of attack or response happen in the first place.
All the while, the US stressing efforts to seal a deal for a ceasefire in Gaza are ongoing. Top White House aide Brett McGurk today heading to Cairo, and CIA Director Bill Burns due in Qatar later this week, hoping to spearhead talks to get more hostages, including 8 Americans, out of Gaza at this critical time. And guys, the IDF reacting to a Hamas claim that Hamas's own guards in 2 separate incidents shot and killed a male hostage and seriously wounded 2 female hostages. The IDF saying it has no intelligence to refute or confirm Hamas's claims. Michael?
All right, Tom, thank you for your reporting. I'm going to turn now to the war in Ukraine. President Zelensky confirming a military offensive is underway 18 miles inside Russia. Ian Pannell joins us now with the latest. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Michael. Ukraine expanding its daring offensive inside Russia this morning. Video circulating online showing troops raising the blue and yellow flag of Ukraine in newly occupied villages. The commander-in-chief of Ukrainian forces telling President Zelensky they've taken around 380 square miles of Russian territory. Some analysts are estimating they could be as deep as 18 miles inside Russia. Thousands of Ukrainian troops are now believed to have crossed in the last week around Kursk and now Belgorod. These are 2 places, by the way, that are used to launch attacks against Ukraine. Fierce firefights have been reported as Russia urgently sends in its defensive units. It's attacking with drones and aircraft. Over 100,000 residents have now been forced to flee their homes. The Kremlin totally caught off guard by this attack. A rattled Putin ordering the defense ministry to, quote, push to kick the enemy out of our territory. But the acting governor of Kursk admitting in a rare moment of honesty that the situation is difficult and around 30 villages have now been taken. Facts are still few, but get this. This is the biggest occupation of Russian territory by a foreign army since the Second World War. Russia claiming American and NATO military equipment's being used, which would be a breach of agreements, but it's offered no evidence to support that. Finally, 2 key questions, I think, this morning. How much Russian territory can Ukraine take, and is it capable of holding on to it? George?
Those are the big questions. Okay, and thanks very much. Now to the earthquake that rattled Southern California. A 4.4 quake hit on Monday, felt from Los Angeles to San Diego, less than a week after a stronger tremor in the region. Melissa Adan is in L.A. with the latest. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning, George. Southern California feeling 2 significant earthquakes really within the last 2 weeks, and LA officials are alerting people for possible aftershocks.
This morning, millions in Los Angeles on alert for potential aftershocks after that startling 4.4 magnitude earthquake rattled Southern California.
Oh man, that's pretty strong.
It felt like the wall was being taken out below me.
Felt like the whole ground was going away from under me.
The epicenter just north of downtown LA, happening around 12:20 p.m. Monday.
Whoa, that is a real one, guys.
ESPN studio shaking as the quake struck while they were live on air.
We have a bit of an earthquake here in Los Angeles, so we're just going to make sure that our studio lights, everything stays safe, everything's shaking.
The tremor breaking a sprinkler pipe at Pasadena's City Hall and briefly trapping one person in an elevator.
We have an additional elevator entrapment.
Students seen here evacuating buildings on their first day back to school.
We put our heads under the table and we hold onto the table.
Officials now telling teachers to prepare their students for larger earthquakes.
We want people to be prepared, not scared. It's school starting, vacations ending. We need to get in that mindset of preparedness now.
While there was no substantial damage or injuries across LA County, officials reminding people always to be prepared for an earthquake, alerting folks that when you feel the ground shaking, that's the cue to drop, cover, and hold on. Robin.
Always good advice. Melissa, thank you so much. Now to President Biden's mission to reduce the cancer death rate and a new initiative from the White House this morning. Senior White House correspondent Selena Wang has those details for us. Good morning to you, Selena.
Good morning, Robin. President Biden is headed to New Orleans today for his Cancer Moonshot event. Biden will announce up to $150 million in awards to 8 research teams working on innovative cancer treatment ideas. Every year, nearly 2 million Americans are diagnosed with solid tumor cancers, and surgical removal is often their first step in treatment. So these funds are for developing technologies that will hopefully allow surgeons to more successfully remove tumors in cancer patients, reduce the need for repeat surgeries, and decrease the damage for healthy tissues. And for President Biden, this issue is very personal. He lost his son Beau to cancer in 2015. He first launched this initiative as vice president, then relaunched it in 2022 with the goal of reducing the cancer death rate in the U.S. by at least half. And President Biden, for his legacy, this is very important to him. He has vowed to keep on fighting for this cancer moonshot for the rest of his term. Michael?
Yeah, we really hope this helps a lot of people. Selena, thank you so much for that. We're going to turn now to the latest in a gymnastics bronze medal battle. The U.S. vowing to keep fighting for Jordan Childs following a new court ruling. Lara is here with more. Good morning, Lara.
Yes, Michael, the Olympics are over, but the battle continues over who actually won the bronze medal in the floor exercise. U.S. gymnast Jordan Childs had a setback on Monday with the Court of Arbitration for Sport denying the U.S.'s latest appeal, calling for Childs to return the medal. It is all about the degree of difficulty in her score. Right after she performed, Childs' coaches submitted an inquiry suggesting she deserved a higher score because of one of the moves she performed. As a result, the judges did give her an extra 1/10 of a point. That was enough to vault Childs from 5th to 3rd place, knocking Anna Barbosu off the podium, leading to that unforgettable moment. But then the Romanians came forward saying the U.S. appeal was put in too late, 4 seconds too late, beyond the 1-minute appeal window. The medal was then ordered to be given back to the Romanian gymnast. While the U.S. claims they have time-stamped evidence that the appeal was made in time, the Court of Arbitration still sided with Romania. USA Gymnastics saying it was notified by the court that their rules do not allow for the decision to be reconsidered even with conclusive evidence, guys. The U.S., though, vowing to fight on, saying it will, quote, continue to pursue every possible avenue of appeal, which could conclude, by the way, in going to the Swiss Federal Tribunal. So this is not over yet, but not looking great.
So they messed up twice. You messed up by not judging it right and then not being able to appeal a decision that doesn't seem to be the right decision.
From the very start.
All right, Lara. Thank you.
Frustrating.
All right. Still proud of Jordan Childs, regardless of what happened there.
Indeed.